right? Cosmos is promised to be the internet of blockchains. And actually, that vision has already been kind of shipped and delivered, right? I mean, we're actually seeing that IBC, the inter-blockchain communication protocol, which is kind of the TCP/IP standard for the blockchain economy, was shipped in February this year. And now, especially with Osmosis, which is an automated market maker that runs on its own chain, sovereign chain, with its own validator network, but it's still compatible to the Cosmos Hub and other chains in the Cosmos ecosystem. So can you briefly explain the IBC and also your involvement in it? And then also after that, we're going to talk about the Gravity Bridge and where we stand with that one.
Yeah, let's talk about all those pieces. So, you know, it was interesting, right? It was like, so what are the things that we knew back in 2016? So in 2015 and 2016, we knew that the EVM wasn't scalable. The Ethereum virtual machine was not scalable. So we knew that you needed multiple blockchains. We also knew that like everyone was like talking about sharded blockchains at the time. And we also knew that this like the kind of design ideas that Solana ended up going down, ended up implementing, kind of existed. Like you could make a blockchain with essentially like huge blocks. And it was a lot of work to do it. But all of those systems run into limits. And we wanted to build, I think the big vision of IBC was, what if you build a system that actually has no limits? Like truly has no limits. So one of the questions so the problem that every sharded blockchain had was, hey, I want to have multiple blockchains. I want to have a multi-chain environment because, you know, here are the limitations around scaling a single chain. But then I want uniform security. I want every blockchain to be secure. And unto itself. And it's like, okay, so you do this and now it comes with all these trade-offs. It comes up with these trade-offs. You have complicated committee selection mechanisms, complicated mechanisms for shuttling state between validator nodes. Like you get all this incidental complexity. And all of those systems don't truly result in a system that doesn't have any limits in scaling. So what if instead you build a system that was designed to isolate failure, i.e. a blockchain could fail in the system and the system would still make sense. So that really led us to the design of IBC. And the design of IBC is really, this idea of sovereignty has like all of these really compelling aspects of it. You know, people can issue their own tokens. It's sort of this great environment for entrepreneurs. But as a system, it really gets down to the point of, this is a system that tolerates the failure of any individual component. Osmosis can run. Osmosis can have bugs. It can halt. It could have inflation. It could, inflate to infinity. The pools could fail. And the Cosmos Hub, people who have, millions of dollars of atoms and osmosis pools would lose money. But the Cosmos Hub would continue and the IBC network would be fine. And so what the real uniqueness of what we were trying to build with IBC is, and like it is utterly unique today in this space, is we have built really the only protocol that can survive the failure of a blockchain network. And that I think is really special. And as a result, of being able to tolerate failure, you get sort of the potential for infinite growth. If you think, to go back to use a very Ethan metaphor, if you think about like an organism, like a body, the human body. You get sick, you recover, your cells are growing, dividing, getting cancer all the time, and you're mutating, failing, and the system continues. And the system continues for a very long time. And if you look at the blockchain systems that exist today, they don't have this property. They are very, very vulnerable to the failure of individual components. The Get developers make like one mistake, and a multi-$100 billion economy just collapses. And we really wanted to build something that wasn't like that. And IBC is the only thing that isn't like that in the blockchain space. And so that's really been the joy of IBC. And the question has been, what does IBC go to market look like? And I think IBC go to market has kind of been like a real mystery for a lot of people. And I think Sunny and Dave, they're geniuses. So, it's not surprising to me at all. Sunny, Dave, and Josh, like, they were some of the smartest people that I recruited into Cosmos. They really solved it by, doing the logical thing, which is setting up a farm that you have to use IBC to farm. Like, it's that simple, right?
Yeah.